Okay, in round 5, the Techno Angels will begin, and they will start by replenishing their components. Now, the Red Jack will decide to engage the Black Jack in combat. And this is different from a character versus the grid. This is a character challenging another character. So they will fight across a line segment. The victor may swap the component on the line segment. The victor may also take all winnings from the wager square, as well as take one technology from the loser. So the Red Jack is challenging the Black Jack for an attempt to steal his Vimana. So combat begins, and we will deal 2 cards to each opponent. Each opponent will secretly check to see if they possess a random event in their hole cards. And fortunately, none of them do. So we move on to the next phase, the draw phase of the flop. Okay. So there are no random events in the draw phase, and each opponent may use their components to modify the cards in sequence. The Techno Angel gets initiative because he initiated combat. And looking at his cards, he decides to wager a B component into the wager square to gain a positive polarity component and modify the heart of the Ace of Hearts and increase it to change this card into the Ace of Spades. Okay. Now the Shadowmares, with their champion, the Black Jack, may make another component modification. And they will pass on their component modification. So the next card placed down is a 9 of Spades. And the Techno Angels will wager a D component to gain a negative polarity token and place it on the Ace of Clubs, making it an Ace of Spades. So we have 2 Ace of Spades, which are redundant but possible with the component modification. Now the Shadowmares will wager their D component to remove the positive component. They would gain a negative polarity token, and placing it on top of the positive polarity token will cancel it out. So this becomes an Ace of Hearts once again. Okay, now we move on to the river draw phase, and we have the King of Hearts drawn. So the Red Jack will deliberate. He has a 6 and 4 of spades. There is an Ace of Spades and a 9 of spades. So he will wager a B component, gain another positive polarity token, and wager on the pip which is the heart, changing the heart to a spade. So we have king of spades. Okay. The Shadowmares do not have any more component cards and must pass on their component modification. So we move to the showdown. The Red Jack, champion of the Techno Angels, has a 5-card flush full of spades with a king high. He has ace of spades, 9 of spades, king of spades, 6 and 4 of spades. The Shadowmare seemingly does not have any pairs, so he has a no pair. So in a landslide victory, the Red Jack wins. The combat deck gets taken up and buried to the bottom of the combat deck. Sorry, the component cards are buried to the bottom of the combat deck. Then winnings are determined. The Red Jack for the Techno Angels gains all the winnings in the wager square. He may replace the B component on this line segment between the two opponents. He decides to replace the B component with another B component. This is possible, and within the rules of the board game, this constitutes recreating the circuit with the last proper component. And finally, before he tallies up power points outside of combat, the Red Jack will steal the Vimana from the Black Jack. Okay, now outside of combat, the Red Jack will tally up all power points within this 3-circuit macro circuit. So starting with the pyramids, this is 5 times 9 is 45 points. Now we have the stone circle with 6, 36 power points. And then we have the pyramid at 7, which is 63 power points. And the last 2 nodes in this triple macro circuit is 10 plus 10, which is 20. So the triple macro circuit nets the Techno Angels a total of 164 power points, and that is added to the reserve of 54 power points, giving them a total of 218 power points. So the Techno Angels will purchase a pyramid at node 4, 6. And move on to the rest of the Techno Angels. So the Red Queen will move and place a D component, and finally the Red King will move and place a B component. So this concludes the Techno Angels turn on round 5. The next video, which will be a two-parter, will um, follow up with the Shadowmare's turn on round 5.